We are live. Yep.
In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live stream podcast show of In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie. Man, I've been practicing all day to say that, and all of a sudden I could have just looked at the monitor to just read it. Yes, it's a live stream In the Trenches podcast episode, and we love doing these. It's been a good time. I'm going to let some people come into the room, check it out, and sort of get their groove on, because obviously the notice just went out that we started, and
I lost audio.
we like doing these types of things because it's a little bit like live TV. You never know what's going to happen, and today is one of those days. It's a little bit like live. I have to just make sure I mute some people right now, because that's what's happening backstage. You heard some backstage noises. That's okay, because right now I am going to introduce our special guest today. And like I say, he's the pride hometown hero of the Midwest, all right? I know him from the Planet Axe tour. That's where we sort of met, and I'll discuss a little bit about that. But that brought this whole Planet Axe reunion together today. I pulled a lot of strings, made a lot of phone calls, a lot of Facebook sort of messages, a lot of non-returned messages, by the way, to pull this off today. But I think I've done an okay job. And I see one of our guests right there is wrestling with a cat. Hold on. As soon as he stops wrestling with a cat, I will bring him on the show. Like I say, we're going to talk for a little bit, and then we're going to take your questions. So thank you very much for coming on. If you have some people that want to see a really entertaining podcast of In the Trenches, this is the episode to watch. If you hadn't made it out to one of our packed sort of club tours of the Planet Axe tour, if you hadn't made out to one of those shows, you can at least see us live today, and you can feel the essence of what it must have been like to be on that Planet Axe tour. But without further ado, I will introduce our guest for today, guitar player, singer, songwriter. Would you welcome to the show, Brandon Gibbs? And Brandon, first thing I got to ask you, please put your mute on the YouTube.
Ryan, what's happening, brother?
I'm good, but you have to do me one favor. Do you have headphones? If you have headphones, that'll be even better, because you put your earbuds in and then I don't get the echo and it's all good. So, hey, it's live stream. I can hear you perfect now. Let me talk to me now. I
can't hear you for some reason.
You can't hear me. Okay. Are you watching or listening on the StreamYard platform?
Hang on. I don't have you, Ryan.
All right. We can hear you, just so you know. We can hear you just fine. If you can get a pair of headphones, that would be great. No, this is amazing. This is not only good content.
I can't hear you.
All right. Why don't we start over again? You come back on the show. All right. You want to come? You want to? He can't hear me, Vic. You know what, Vic? Come up here and let me know what's happening. There it is. There's our producer, Vic. You want to explain this?
No, I don't think they have headphones in Iowa.
Wait a second.
All right. It's a work in progress.
We can hear you.
This was going to be one of those podcasts that I was
actually. I can hear you, Vic. I can't hear Ryan.
You can't hear Ryan.
You need to put some headphones on, and you need to be sure that you don't have two streams going.
Yeah.
So, should I shut down the laptop?
You should shut down whatever YouTube is on. You can only have one.
Okay, I'll shut that down. Hang on, I got headphones.
All right. Well, hey, man, nothing but
just like the tour.
It is just like the Planet Axe tour. Should we bring another member of Planet Axe? I was like going to have this big talk with Brandon first.
Give me 1 second.
Okay,
all right.
I'll get out of the way.
Man, let's see. It's how you deal with under pressure. That's how that proves the worth of a man. Me in a black screen right now.
Brandon has never looked better.
Has Brandon left the building? I think we got to bring on someone else from Planet Axe if Brandon's getting his technical stuff together. When he's ready to get back on, I'll have him on. I'm going to put on right now. Why not? I'll bring on one of my special guests that I was going to bring on after I talked to Brandon, who is our main guest. But how about this? Robby Miller, all the way from Canada. There he is, part of the team. How you doing, Robby?
I'm good. How are you?
He's part of the Roxie Guitar Army Kickstarter campaign team. He's done great. He is, I mean, it's been a big day for us. I don't really want to toot my own horn. And it's like, that's what happens. You got to lower the importance with these types of things.
You're doing great, by the way.
Well, you know what? It's like one of those things where you're doing a telethon and like, you know, nobody's actually calling in. So you're
I think that's my life story. Yeah.
Well, hey, the good news is we have people watching right now on both YouTube and Facebook because of this platform that we're using. But there's Dean Staffery. There's a lot of Planet Axe alumni there.
There really is. There really, really is. I miss them. Although we get to speak to them very often, I feel. You know, the Planet Axe family is strong.
Well, you check it out. I'm going to bring on our main guest again. I mean, I don't even want to start. I kind of almost want to start it from the top. You want to start it from the top again so we can just almost, that was like dress rehearsal. Thank you guys for watching the dress rehearsal, by the way.
Sound check.
Yeah, sound check. And it's almost like a VIP experience, isn't it? It is like this.
Before we start it over, we need to make sure Brandon is set.
All right, let's just make sure Brandon's cool. Brandon, are you cool now? Can you hear me, Brandon?
We can't hear Brandon.
Now we can't hear you. That's the only problem. Do you have a microphone that you can use?
Is he muted?
He might be muted.
No, he's not.
I don't think he's muted, though. I'm so glad we're doing this sound check right now.
It's a good thing Brandon came on early to test this out.
It is. It is, Brandon. Do you have a microphone that you can use, like earbuds with a headphone or something like that? Hey, comments on the board is I just love to hear Robby's accent. So Robby, just talk for a little bit.
Get Robby to talk
while we sort this out.
I was saying this to my wife the other day that I feel like I'm becoming less. My British accent is going a little bit more and more. I feel like I've got a North American twang, especially when I hear my friends from back home. So that's something I've noticed. So if you feel like I still have an accent, then I'm very pleased that you think that.
8 minutes into the show, my friend.
Can I just say,
yeah,
can I say Troy Patrick Farrell, who I've never met, has said he sounds so great, so informative, which are kind of polar opposite comments from what you were saying about this earlier. So
he's talking about your accent, not about your mic size. We kind of said that it was a little bit of a, you know, the mic size thing was a little bit of a dig. So do we have well, he's now Brandon's completely left the studio. So you know what? We're going to turn this into a really special sound check, bring another member of the Planet Axe family on. If you like accents, you're going to love this one. Would you welcome from the deep south, it's Joel Cochet. Hey, man. Don't tell me Joel can't talk now as well. We don't hear you now, Joel. Do you hear Joel? Robby, do you hear Joel?
I don't hear Joel.
No, so nobody. Joel, we don't hear you, bud. Do you have is your mic muted or something like that? You should be going good. Okay. Well, it's a complete catastrophe. I have a feeling
this is the worst show ever. This is like Coffee Talk.
Did Coffee Talk actually infiltrate our system and our platform? I'm going to try one more guest of the Planet Axe family and see if it works. Vic,
I'm out.
Disappear for a second and bring on. I mean, it was supposed to be a big old intro because, you know, he's got a big old drum kit. This, my folks, is Kenny Bailey. Hello, Kenny.
I'm glad I made it on by default. That's great. Thanks, Roxy. Appreciate that.
Hey, you should have learned how to play guitar. You chose the drums. You chose the drums.
Hey, at least I know how to do this. Says
You do.
something.
And you know what? You have perfect branding on. You're at the bar, obviously at Rascals.
Yeah.
In Moline.
Yeah, we're doing a bunch of stuff while we're closed down. We're getting ready to go into our third week of being closed down here, and waiting to hear probably today or tomorrow that we're going to be closed down until the end of April. So we're
Wow.
getting a lot of
That's the word on the street.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's not a good time around here.
Well, here's the thing. We try to make this little environment of what I've been doing within the Trenches podcast, and whether it's the live stream Sundays, a C-free zone. We don't actually say the C word. Because remember, the C word used to be something completely different, just as offensive and just as annoying. But at the same time, we try to make this, because you're going to get bombarded by it as soon as we turn off this podcast.
Right.
So I'm going to say, make this C-free, but exactly tell us your experience of how you're holding up, man.
We're doing all right. We've had to, obviously, a lot of our employees aren't working right now, which hurts. We've got a couple campaigns that we're going to be starting to raise some money for them. So keep an eye on our Facebook, Instagram page. And if you can help out, that would be great. Otherwise, we're just trying to, as you can see behind me, we're getting a lot of new memorabilia back up on the walls.
See
that we've been working on. So we're getting a lot of things done at the bar that we usually don't have time for. So it's working out, lemons out of lemonade. So
you got it. Well, what we've been doing is we've been honing our skills on our live stream sort of platform. So we've really been nailing the sort of ins and outs, and so all of our live streams are so smooth and technically perfect. Wouldn't you say this is a technically perfect live stream so far, Robby? Huh?
Textbook, actually.
I'm gonna ask Vic to remove you guys, and we're gonna try one more time to sound check Brandon.
All right.
That's okay. And you're coming back. Don't worry, you're coming back. Okay, let's see. Brandon, are you there?
Yo.
Okay, Brandon, I hear your
can
voice,
hear you. Can you hear
and
me?
I see you. Yeah, the only thing you need to do is turn your phone sideways now to get the full picture. There you go. That's perfect. Now, can you still hear me?
On.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't know about the earbuds. I had the JBL.
Okay. Well, I
headphones.
thought the directions in the email would have explained that, but apparently I didn't press send.
You sent me an email. I didn't see that.
I didn't. But if I would have, it would have included that information, just so you know.
Well, it seems to be working now. I don't think these did any justice.
Okay,
So-
you sound great. You look great. We have different types of reader glasses on, so that's going to not confuse anybody. We're gonna remove all the comments. We are going to start this mofo from the beginning. All right.
Okay.
Because we've gone 13 minutes and 59 seconds
And haven't spoke a word.
and haven't even said hello yet. So we're going to start it right over again so I can actually put this out as a regular podcast. So if everyone out there is willing to continue listening and enjoying this podcast, as I hope you are, let's start from the top. Shall you say, Vic? Let's go.
In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie.
Whoa! Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream episode of In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie. This is one of those things there. When we live stream it, there's a couple little hiccups that you have to, and hoops that you jump through. But I think we've pretty much joined the circus at this point, and we've gotten through everything. And we are ready to just do show. And today is a very special show because we have a Planet Axe Tour reunion of sorts. All right. Maybe not as big as the Cheers reunion or the Friends reunion or whatever reunion you're thinking of, but it's our reunion. And you guys are here to watch it. I appreciate it. my special guest that I wanted to have come on the show and just kind of talk guitars and music first is the singer, songwriter, guitarist. I'm not going to introduce him just yet because that guy sort of gave me the idea to get all the guys from Planet X together. So listen to my interview with my guest first. All right. Come for the talk, stay for the chaos, because chaos will ensue, I guarantee you. But first of all, let's have a little chat with singer, songwriter, guitarist, Mr. Brandon Gibbs. Brandon, are you there? Brandon, are you there? There he is. Hey, Brandon, I can't hear you. How did that happen?
They got to unmute it. Okay, the host has unmuted my mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yes, we are cooking with gas. Yeah, what happens a little bit is that we work through all these, when you come on the air, you muted, but if you're backstage, your mic is unmuted and we can still hear you. And I'm trying to talk, hype you up and talk you up, but then I can hear you wrestling with your cat, which was what you were doing. Actually, that's why we're so late on this podcast, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Another bout of cat wrestling.
I have been watching the Tiger King, man. I got these little cats, and
who hasn't? I have a feeling there's a little bit of Joe. What's his name?
Exotic.
Joe Exotic in all of us. In fact,
yeah.
I have a picture to prove that, and I will post it up a little bit later on my Instagram. But it's not just about me, more about me. It's about Brandon Gibbs right now, all the way from Iowa. How you doing, my friend?
I'm hanging in, brother. Well, first of all, it's good to talk to you again. It's been a minute, and want to thank you for letting me come on the show. And sorry about the chaos. Process of elimination. I should have probably done a little sound check with you before, but
sound check. We don't need no stinking sound check.
Well, it's just like Planet X. It is what it is. But I gotta give you a compliment before we go. I think I watch your episodes, and you have a natural talent for this, and you have kind of a natural radio voice. I don't know if you know that or not, but it's actually, I really enjoy your episodes.
I've been told I've got the perfect voice for the internet.
Especially when you get closer, and I got the perfect.
Well, after a certain time of day, where it's I call it wine time, and my wife usually brings in a little glass of wine. I know you have Bud Light time.
Here in Iowa, yeah, we just appreciate the finer things in life. A tall can of Bud Light. Actually, I opened one during the crisis, the headphone crisis. So don't mind if I do.
I'm glad. May that be the biggest crisis we have to talk about today, is how we have the technical difficulties far behind us. You are talking to us from Iowa. I know that there's a lot of special guests in the audience watching in the on the chat. I saw Troy Patrick Farrell is one of them. He's already commented. He said we've stifled them all. That is, and I don't know what he's referring to, but apparently we have stifled them all. That's your opening line. How about that?
There we go.
First question out of the box. I know that everybody's they've been asking it to me, giving me DMs all week, and when they found out that Brandon Gibbs is going to be on. As a musician, a guitarist, a songwriter, what is it truly like to play next to Kenny Bailey's drum kit, the Oracle?
Oh my God. It's a dream come true, really. And all these things, and you don't really need a backstage. You could go behind his drum kit and get a mirror and do what you got to do. So I think it's a benefit, really, to have that many pieces to choose from.
See, that was my hardball question. Now we'll move on to the softball stuff.
All right.
Fine. Just had to pitch you out one of those big ones. No, of course we're going to talk about the gong incident. Of course we're going to. This is a Planet X to a reunion. But at the same time, I'd like to talk a little bit about you first before chaos ensues. So Brandon Gibbs.
Yes, sir.
I met you because you opened up for Alice Cooper in Moline. That's when we first sort of were introduced, before we actually toured together. Your solo band was opening up for Alice Cooper at a big arena there. Tell us how that all happened.
Well, we had done a show. Well, it's got to be 6 months prior to that. We did a show with Michael McDonald, and I've always been a big blues, advocate, as you know. And the show with Michael McDonald, I believe the promoter Scott Thomas, I think is his name. He's a good buddy of Kenny's, and he said, "Well, listen, let's bring Brandon back for Alice Cooper. It did well, and people liked it." And so I was excited to get to go from, a Michael McDonald, because I've been with the Doobie Brothers a few times, and then to Alice Cooper. I was excited, but I'll be honest with you, I was a little nervous. I didn't know if some of my lyrical content or whatever would cross over, and so that was pretty much it. And then, the show was banging. We did the pre-party with you guys, if you remember.
Yeah, of course.
And so I think
Kenny's club. And when you talk about Kenny is the drummer of the Planet X tour. Kenny Bailey. You might have seen him during the sound check, folks out there that are watching the live stream. And he owns a club called Rascals in Moline. And that's sort of where our hang is. Anytime we come there. And oddly enough, Alice Cooper, he likes to play around that area. Do you guys call it the Quad City? Are you part of this whole Quad City sort of thing that I don't really understand?
That I don't think I'm not sure if Iowa qualifies, but I guess like it would be Bettendorf, Iowa, Davenport, Iowa, and Rock Island, Illinois. I think those
do they all share the same community swimming pool, or why do they call it the Quad City? Do they just?
I'm missing one, aren't I? I'm not really sure. I don't know why they called it that. And anywhere, it's only known here, because if you say it anywhere else, like the Quad City, they don't really know what you're talking about.
It really sounds important. It's something that sounds important and probably above our pay grade. We shouldn't be talking about Quad Cities. That sounds like no.
Now without permission.
That's the Joe Rogan thing. But maybe we should just talk about guitars and the reason why, because you are a blues guy. I know that because when we were on the Planet X tour, I got to hear a lot of your playing. Do you have one or two guys that you always refer to as like, hey, these are my guys that I was influenced by?
Definitely. Stevie Ray Vaughan was one of my biggest influences. It teetered. It was Stevie Ray Vaughan, and then the Allman Brothers could be. We actually did a talk show with one of the Allman Brothers. Dangerous Dan Toller was his name. He was a replacement, but I just fell in love with Dickie Betts. I don't know, B.B. King, Hendrix, all of those things.
I only asked for two.
Oh yeah,
but you just gave me four. You gave me quad.
I gave you the last one, right?
Are those the quad guitar players?
Those are the quad guitar players, and that's all I listened to. And I didn't even get into rock until later. That was what I listened to. I wanted to be a blues guitar player for a profession.
Right. Well, you are a blues guitar player. At least when you did the Planet X tour, the last song of the evening was Voodoo Child, and that was your last song of the set, and you would always shine in that. So,
thanks.
When I just, it's curious that it's interesting that you say Stevie Ray Vaughan, because I just yesterday interviewed Jared James Nichols, and he said the same guy. So obviously Stevie Ray had something, and do you play a Stratocaster, or do you like Stratocasters because of Stevie Ray?
I got that was probably the biggest reason I started with a Strat. I initially asked my father if he would buy me or help me buy a hollow bot. I wanted Lucille, B.B. King's Lucille, so bad. And then
which is like basically a 335 without the F holes. Is that what basically?
Yeah, it doesn't have the F holes. And I went and tried it at a guitar store, and it was so big and it just didn't fit right. And lo and behold, it was later, in the month or whatever, I saw Austin City Limits, and Stevie Ray came out with a Strat, and I said, okay, that's exactly the guitar that I should start playing.
Perfect, man. Well, all this blues influence led you to play with more hard rock guys, and that's sort of where you fell in with us when we started doing Planet Axe. But before that, Planet Axe, you were associated and a member of Devil City Angels, which has, for those of you that need a little refresher, that's Ricky Rocket on drums, Tracy Guns on guitar, Eric Brittingham on bass, and of course Joel Cochet, who is part of the Planet Axe family, came in and took over for lead guitar duties later on. So, and then what is it? Rudy Sarzo joined as well. So there, it seemed to be a little bit of musical chairs as well, but that band, Devil City Angels, how did it go from blues solo stuff to this more hard rock edge?
Well, there was I started, my twin brother basically told me, where we started getting offers, because back in the day we started open for 70s artists. We got lucky enough to find a promoter that thought we could fit in these different family festivals and open for these 70s artists like REO and Foreigner, and the list goes on. And I was still pretty hunkered down in the blues. When it came to songwriting, my brother really pushed me to start thinking about rock music. He thought I could have a mixture of rock and blues and create, good 3.5, 4.5 minute songs with choruses that are strong. And so I started opening the door to rock, and I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and prior to the Devil City Angels, and I hired Eric Brittingham from Cinderella, you just mentioned, and Jeff LaBar from Cinderella, as they were mutual friends of mine. And I had opened for Cinderella when I was a young man, and they had just come off tour, and things didn't look like they were going to go back out anytime soon. They didn't have a definitive answer, and I was literally living at an extended stay hotel until we figured out what we were going to do. My wife and I at the time. And so I just said, well, look, I got these songs. I'm going to kind of transition from blues to blues rock or rock. And how about we do this? You guys, you jump in the band, and I'll keep you working. And we got this thing happening. We can play your new stuff, my new stuff, Cinderella cuts. And we hired another guy from Collective Soul. And so for drums, and eventually we toured so much, just being a rock band, it just kind of made sense that, whatever I record, make a record. And that's when Devil City,
was that the self-titled 2015 release, Devil City Angels, right?
Yeah. Ricky called at the right time. I had just decided that, we've done this party rock band thing for a while, and I wanted to start working on my professional recording career. Right. A little bit more. And Ricky called and said, hey, you, me, Tracy Guns. And then Eric wasn't in the group quite yet. And that
was the band called Cheap Thrills, right? Because thank you, Perry, for putting that up on the comments, of course.
Cheap Thrill. Yeah. Jeff came up with that one. It was just one of those things. We got the group going, and we didn't have a name, and we got hired for this Monsters of Rock cruise with no band name. And this, I think, is in 2012 or 13. And Jeff goes, just call it Cheap Thrill. I said, okay, that's fine. And so that's where we came up with that.
I apologize for adding the plural. That's my bad.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
So listen, what you're telling me, what I can see is that Devil City Angels, Cheap Thrill, those were rock and roll bands, but it all kind of funnels back with your solo stuff to your family and your brother. And I mean, I consider your brother a hero. Wink, wink. But yeah. I consider your family a very musical family. I actually did say it was reminiscent of the Partridge Family, but with a rock and roll vibe. Now, tell us about, like, when you do your solo shows, who comes up on stage and who's allowed on stage and who's never allowed on stage, or is everybody? Is it just open door policy?
I feel so blessed to have any platform to play on any stage, and Brent, my brother, he had a big part in the early Devil City Angel stage, because we redid a lot of the Gibbs Brothers songs, stuff in my first band. We redid All My People, I'm Living, and stuff you probably heard on the Planet Axe. And so I just have this, if I'm out and we have a run and anybody wants to join, for instance, my sister, sometimes I think she did Cooper with me. Actually, I think my brother did Cooper with me as well.
Yeah.
I just feel like, you know,
Your brother bailed
I'd
you
like
out,
to.
though. I remember because you were freaking a little bit like I do. We both do when we're on the Planet X tour. We always have like
Oh,
all
yeah,
these
yeah.
rituals for our voice. And you had,
Yeah.
before that Alice Cooper show, I remember you telling me that you had lost your voice, but luckily it
Yeah.
came back right at the last minute. But I mean, we've as
Yep.
I think as guitar players, we never freak ourselves out. But then when we make that jump to fronting the band, then I'm inundated with like, oh my, I'm gonna lose my voice and this and that.
You know, yes, I remember Joel was in the hotel room with me, and I had warm apple cider, cinnamon. I had everything I could do. I could not get a word out, and it was scary. I mean, it was scary as hell. And here we got this great big, and I was all, you know, again, going over to blues rock to a rock show like Cooper. I just wanted to really punch it in the teeth, you know, and I had to have my my brother. I said, if you know, he's a drummer, but I said, if you remember any of my lyrics, I said, get your butt up on stage and please belt them out. And my voice opened up during that show, which is something you can't, as you know, you can't even predict that would happen. And sometimes it does.
But it's magnificent when it does at the right time. You know,
yes,
you were the one that turned me on to Mucinex. Actually, that was one
we were the Mucinex twins.
Yeah, you down it with a Bud Light, and I would down a Mucinex with a vodka soda. But like literally a half hour into the show, your throat would open up, and you know I've turned Tommy Henriksen onto that. So yeah, we are spreading the Mucinex love. Maybe we can get an endorsement of some sort.
I think the next.
We'll
get a Mucinex endorsement, and we'll call it Planet Wellness Tour. Does that sound good to everybody?
Sense to me. That makes sense to me. We've done Stranger Things. I mean, you know, and it's time to get into Stranger Things. I think it's time to start sort of making this reunion happen because people know your history as well. But before I just totally let chaos ensue, if people want to find out more about your music and what you're currently doing, because I can only imagine with this downtime that we all have, you're using it as a positive and creating. So what's happening right now?
Well, I got to be honest with you. You know, timing, obviously, no one can predict anything like this. But I signed a deal with this company called Golden Robot, and our project was to release singles in increments of 4 months, another 4 months, and my single Leave came out just right almost into this, maybe a week or so in before this, and so it's taken a little bit of retooling. I can tell you this: I'm practicing a whole lot more. I love packages, as you know, with Planet X and those things. I'm writing down different ideas for how I'd like to come back and make it special and unique, and perhaps something that everyone else would enjoy. And so I'm creative, and I'm slightly a chef in this house right this second.
Very nice. So you've always had those skills. Are you a better chef, or are you better you barbecue as well?
What I'm doing right now, Ryan, is I got a griddle, a flat top, because that was my first job when I was a kid. I was second job. I worked in a kitchen and I loved it. And I started out dishwashing, and then I asked if I could move up, and they basically had me on a flat top, and I would make, you appreciate this, golfers that were coming off the 9th hole at the golf course I worked at.
I thought it was the Waffle
They would have
House.
a little station. Yeah, they'd have a little station for beers, and then I would make them whatever they wanted, and then they would go off to the 10th and finish their 18. And so, I'm in griddle mode right now.
You had a snack shop on the turn, as they would call it.
I did.
On the turn.
Yeah. That was what gave it to me.
We're going to turn. How about that for choice of words? We're going to turn this podcast in a new direction, because right now we're going to start that Planet X tour reunion with bringing out what it originally started as the genesis for the idea. Let's bring 3 guitar players who also sing, that all come from bands that people know about, hopefully know about, and let us play some of our own stuff with 3 mini sets, and then get on stage at the very end for this master jam. So we had you with Brandon Gibbs because we know your solo stuff, and then Devil City Angels as well. And me and my association of riding the coattails with Alice Cooper for so long, and my solo records, and whether it's Dad's Porno Mag or Roxy 77. But then we had this guy, and here he is to come onto the screen, Joel Cochet. Hey, there he is. And now, do we hear you? Dang it, we can't hear him right now. Do you hear him? Nope.
Joel, do you have earbuds like these? These really helped.
Well, he's got them in, but unfortunately, Joel, I'm going to have to come back to you, bud. Damn it. And I gave you a hell of an intro. I really did. I swung for the fences, Brandon, on that. I gave him a...
I feel for him. I was ready to go on and look nice and neat, and I started sweating it, man. I'm like, son of a gun, I'm going to blow his podcast. But I get it, man. I get it.
Well, part of that, well, you at least saw the man. All right. You saw the essence of Joel Cochet. Hopefully he'll have a voice and you'll be able to hear him as well. But we had a rhythm section that played for each of those bands. So Joel would go on, do his set. You would go on, do your set. I would go on, do my set. These guys had the longest night out of everyone. So I want to bring on the rhythm section right now from Planet X. Would you please welcome Robby Miller, who played the bass guitar. There he is. And Kenny Bailey, who played with the Oracle. Hello, guys. Welcome to In the Trenches.
Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you. You guys all have good microphones. Everybody's fucking right on. Spot on, guys. How's everyone doing? Everyone holding it down in their respective positions?
I'm actually still practicing the Planet X set every single day. 35 songs.
We've got some bad news.
No, it's all positive. I'm just working at it, grinding every single day.
That's funny.
So I'm ready.
Oh, I mentioned that Kenny plays alongside the Oracle. And those of you that are watching on the internet and haven't been out to a Planet X tour, it really is something to witness the Oracle. How is the Oracle doing, and does it have a response?
The Oracle is doing great, and it wants you to know that it is since added even more features to it since the last tour.
I'm sorry. The Oracle, for those of you that don't know, is Kenny's drum kit. And on the last tour, we had a special edition, which was maybe a 8-foot gong. How many inches was it? How do you even measure gongs, Brandon? How do you measure gong? Can you even measure gongs?
How can I measure his gong?
Yeah, I mean, how is gong on the metric system, or is it some sort of gong measurement? I don't know.
That's a personal question.
Like, do you measure it from the symbol, or do you measure the?
You remember I told you I thought you were joking about the gong at first.
Oh no, it's a serious thing. Oh, dude, it was pretty much the most serious thing on that second run of the tour. But in relationship to the gong, was it my size, or was it my mic size, or was it more of like Robby's mic size?
It was Robby's mic size.
Your mic. It's kind of like Mama Bear, Papa Bear, Baby Bear. And unfortunately, I'm Baby Bear.
Yeah.
Heather Ruin said you measure gongs in awesomeness. So I guess would have been a 10 plus, a perfect 10 in that gong. But I did have something. Hey, my wife is home. Hello, how you doing? As I live stream podcast. I wanted to bring on this so we could all comment on it. I just wanted to see if possible we could try and get Joel Cochet back on as a 5-some. Joel, are you there, buddy?
Can you hear me?
Yay!
You are perfect, Joel.
Is that a yes?
Yes, you sound a little like Stephen Hawking, but it's okay.
Man. I had to use the Apple earbuds instead of my normal little gadget.
Well,
I guess that solved the problem.
Everyone knows you don't go full Bluetooth.
Well, hold on, I'm not getting everybody.
Live stream podcast. Don't worry.
Who can hear me?
Are you watching it on an Apple Watch? You shouldn't watch it on an Apple Watch. It's probably not the best idea. You don't get the full features of us.
Who can hear me?
We can all hear you, my friend.
Well, bizarre.
No, it's not bizarre.
I hear somebody.
It's
Somebody's
perfectly
laughing,
normal.
so I hear somebody.
That was me. I'm talking to you,
Is it
Joel.
Brandon that I hear?
Now I'm the horse whisperer.
Oh, okay. You're playing a joke on me. I got it.
No.
No.
All right. Good joke.
We really got to get our shit together.
Yeah. That's like the old saying goes.
All right, it's day drinking time, bros.
It is.
Maybe I should call
Oh
Joel.
boy.
That was good. That was a good one.
Just so you all know, it is
I
actually
still don't think I
probably
hear Robby,
wine
though.
time for
Or
me.
Roxy.
Hello, all. Everyone's got something to drink except Joel and Robby. Well, what is that, Robby? Is that some sort of Canadian cola? Has that gotten so bad? It's like non-brand cola. What is that?
I'm drinking
Kister, you're the
some
only one that I
seltzer,
can hear, I guess.
seltzer water.
Wow.
Seltzer water. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Can you hear
2020.
me, Kenny?
Yeah, I can hear you,
Okay.
Joel.
So I can't hear Roxy or Brandon or Robby.
Here's what's
Joel, I'm
have
gonna
to
call
happen.
you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to call Robby, and you're gonna have to maybe do some sign language while because you're up by the corner. You can do the sign language for Joel because Joel reads sign. It's perfect. But this is if you want your screenshot moment, folks watching, this is the time to take that screenshot. This is perfect and great because it's right before we really start bringing on some special guests because
Yeah, I can't
it
hear
was
this.
the five of us, but we also had a very unique person that was on, and hopefully he will unmute his mic right about now. Robby's not old enough to drink. That's coming from a police officer. So that's Officer Burkholder.
Hey, Kenny.
Yeah.
So since you're the only one that can hear me, this means that the error is within someone else, right? In producer land or Ryan Roxie land. Is that not correct?
We have our shit together.
Yeah, I mean, like
It's
if you
everybody
can't hear-
else.
Yeah, all right.
It's all you, Joel. The man with basically NASA engineered guitar rig.
Roxy said you have NASA behind you.
Well,
You can't get.
mad science.
it's not on me at this point, is it?
No, I can hear
It's
you.
not. Yeah, if you hear me, then
They can all hear you.
I
In
can
the-
hear you.
Can't hear them.
In the
I
words,
can't hear
of
them, which means
Spinal Tap,
somehow
you
there's
you
some,
don't talk so much. You just
issue with
smile.
their
all right?
mics being muted to me.
I'm gonna mute his mic.
And if I were over there, as you can tell, I know how to run some of this shit. I could get it figured out. And this is a good opportunity for me to say, get your shit together. Do you guys run sound with a fucking Iron Horse Saloon or whatever the fuck we were playing?
in all fairness, hold on.
Maybe you could get a job with that guy.
Oh my God. In all fairness, there, Joel. In all fairness,
He can't hear you.
we have a photographer running our all the video and sound. But you know what? He's doing
This
a great
is not
job.
my fault. I have nothing to do with any of this.
We can hear you. Everybody can hear each other.
Everybody hears Joel except Joel.
Yeah, I know. I muted his mic because he's just going to come completely talk, say, get off my lawn next time. So hold on. I wanted to bring on, because you have visually the five main players of Planet X, but we also have another special guest that was just as much a part of Planet X as you would like to think, Jacob Cade. Please welcome to
What's up, yo?
Yeah!
How y'all doing?
Hey,
and of course,
Hey,
What's going
AC.
on? What's that?
Jacob, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you, Joel. I can hear everything you're saying.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
I love
Let's see. I hear Jacob. Do I hear Kenny?
Jacob, you will have to communicate to the man. He
I-
put
Can you
it
hear me?
out in his ear.
Shall I call Joel?
Yeah, you should call Joel.
I'm gonna.
What the fuck, man?
Will someone mute Joel's mic? Because I want to talk to Jacob. Jacob, thank you for coming on to the stream. At least we're
Absolutely,
on
man.
audibly. You know what? Because the youth shall inherit the earth. The technology.
Hopefully.
You signed right on. It was no problem. There was no technical difficulties. It's like all of us, we're like operating a VCR with our grandparents. Where's the remote? I don't get it. But Jacob, what's happening with you in your world, and how did Planet X change your life?
Yeah, man. Today Well, now I put together a band called The Broken, and we just put out our first EP, and all of our kind of started touring and stuff. And then, yeah, Planet Axe kind of actually was the first tour that we went on because you guys took me on as Jacob Cade as my solo project.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so with that last the second one that we did, Mike Bokenkamp, who is now the drummer in The Broken, that was the first time that we had ever played together. And so on that tour, I had already had The Broken's first EP recorded and written and everything. And I played him the songs and I was like, hey man, do you want to start this band? And he's like, yeah, man, let's do it. And so now that started like a whole other thing. And it's all because of Planet Axe, really.
It did change your life. We
exactly.
Planet
Absolutely.
Axe.
Absolutely.
Lives, Planet Wellness. And we're sponsored by Mucinex.
Yep.
Man, and you even got in on the vocal things before. I remember we would do some vocal training stuff, and you were curious about that weird glass tube that I had, and I swore to you it wasn't a crack pipe. And it was, I mean, for those of you that don't know, Jacob Cade opened up the entire tour on the Planet Axe tours that we did, and you're originally from Colorado, right?
I am, yeah. Well, I was born in El Paso, Texas, but I was raised here. Moved here when I was like 7, so basically from here. I'm here now.
Stevie Ray Vaughan was your biggest influence, because that'll be 3 for 3.
No, actually, no. It was. I'm gonna say it was Jimmy Page.
Page.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right.
That was the first one. The first one that was like, I'm gonna play guitar.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
And you know what? I like the way that the guitar's in the background. It's not really focused.
Yeah, man.
It's there. Everyone knows it's there. It's good for aesthetics.
Yeah,
nice.
this one's for Brandon. I finally got a good one. Because the last time Brandon came into town, he was like, "Can I use your guitar, an acoustic?" And I had this horrible Yamaha that was not even good. And now I got
a pretty guitar.
I finally was able to pick up a nice acoustic.
Brandon might try to buy it.
I don't know, man. You got to play it first.
Joel, see if he's got technology down. Hi, Joel. How you doing? Everything okay? Perfect.
Done.
Oh God.
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I mean, Kenny, you can hear us, right? Everything's good.
It's fine.
Any questions that you had for Jacob?
No, I missed him the last time I was out in Colorado. I thought he'd be at Brandon's show, but I didn't see him.
You probably went to the one that I didn't go to, because I went to the first 2, I think.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, I went to the first 2, and we even jammed. We did Shine together, and then the last one, I believe we had our own show somewhere that we were playing. So
I went down to Parker, Colorado when I was out there to see Brandon.
Yes.
I just happened to be out there. Brandon was playing. We get done, have a night of a few drinks, go back out to the car. Julie and I did. And the window was busted out of my car. So I've sent Brandon a bill.
I can't hear anybody now.
No? All right. I heard that story. That was good.
Damn. That's rough, man.
It is.
What are you gonna
Colorado? Do? Is that what happens in Colorado? I thought people were pretty cool and like mellow in Colorado.
They
usually are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much so.
But that's why. Yo,
Jacob, Go ahead. Finish your thought, please.
No, I was gonna say. Well, I actually I was in Lakewood though when this happened, not in Parker, but I was parked at a studio that I was working at, and it was like a gated community and everything, but I guess the gate hadn't stopped working, or the gate was having some issues, so it was open all night, and we stayed there. I spent the night there, and because we had a session the next day, so it was whatever. And the same thing. People broke into my truck and took like all my stuff here. So I guess maybe it's some maybe it's the same person. I don't know. They're going from
Same guy. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
It's definitely not Joel Cochet because he wouldn't hear. He wouldn't hear us. He wouldn't hear us coming. But Jake, thanks so much for coming on the Planet X reunion. I hope he didn't leave. He just came on for a second. He was ready to go. He's come on, man. I need him to come on. Jacob, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vic, if you could do me a favor, a huge favor, and bring on all these people right now, because everyone's going to want to see this next guest that we have. Thanks, Jacob, again. There he is, Lonnie, our first tech that we had. How about that? I pulled all the stops out, boys.
Wow.
All the stops. Everyone.
Wow.
And viewership just skyrocketed as soon as Lonnie came on the screen. So there you go. Hello, Lonnie.
Hey, everybody. I'm having a tough time hearing you cutting out pretty bad, but I'm here. Hope you can hear me. I know I should be inside, but I'm just out where I'm parked. There's other people around, so I got to wear my safety. You know how I am. I tried to get a whole body, got kicked out of the store. So look, here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. First thing I wanted to talk about was that fucking band. So that, what did you call that, Brandon? The black turd or the Deathmobile?
I can't.
So here's the chart. I think it was the guy that owns it picks me up. I'm like, okay, everything's cool. He shows it to me. I was like, I swear to God, the first thing out of my mouth when I saw it was, am I gonna fucking die in this thing? He's like, no, we just got back. So I hopped in this some bitch and away I went. And Chicago and then Atlanta and yeah, wow. That was oh yeah, I took the money.
Just so you all know, this is my masterpiece. I don't think it'll ever get this chaotic. Go ahead, Lonnie. You were saying?
I took the money from the Planet X store and I bought this. Not really. Security tell me I can't be around it anymore. I took the money from the Planet X store and I bought this.
There's no one that can.
Hey, how is everybody?
Like you, Lonnie. That is amazing. Hey, buddy.
Honestly, man, that's funny.
This is classic.
What's that?
Classic internet content. But why is your mask? It looks like you feed on it or something. Is it yellow? Is it yellow?
What's that?
Is that a special mask that you got used?
Why is your
Oh, someone doesn't have earbuds on.
I'm just having cutting out pretty bad. I heard something about the mask.
Clear here.
You don't think I look cute?
Everything's crystal clear here, man. Let me tell you. Lonnie, I just had to say thank you for coming on. I'm going to get back with the guys in Planet X, but thank you for appearing on our live stream.
I wish I could hear some people.
You know? Thank you so much. Joel, I wish you could hear us too, because I hear what you're thinking right now. I hear every single syllable. Does everybody hear Joel? Am I the only one that does? Okay, good.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Now I hear Robby.
Ever get the feeling you've been cheated? Oh my God. You know what? I got to put Jacob Cade back on just because he's like, you know, what the hell? He's just Jacob Cade. It feels like it fits. It fills up the screen. It fills up the whole show. Go ahead, Robbie. What were we going to say?
I was just going to say, I feel like this has been the most truest representation of Planet X, the family, the road crew. I feel like we are pretty much the only band out there that have done a true live stream for the fans.
Yes.
Agreed.
There was one person that's missing. I mean, like I said, I tried to pull out all the stops. I wanted to get some sort of seriousness in with Brandon, which I hope I did. You know,
Michelangelo.
I needed to get James McWilliams in, and but he said he was traveling around in his van delivering stuff today. So I don't know what exactly was.
Yeah, we've done so many impersonations of that guy. Dude, he was the greatest.
Yeah. Well,
he's not dead.
Like he's in past tense. Exactly.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that's true. I guess I kind of said that in the wrong way, but yeah,
he's supposed to be on. If we can find James McWilliams, if you're out there on some highway delivering some sort of golf set to some sort of refrigerator repairman, please phone in. And Brandon, when Lonnie started talking, all the impressions that you've done with Lonnie over the years, you've perfected. Can you please do Lonnie for us? For a second?
Oh, come on, you motherfucker.
It was Lonnie on Lonnie. It was Kenny. Am I wrong?
Oh, spot on. Update.
Can you hear me?
Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Lonnie's on 2 different upstreams now. We have to bring him on just to see. Oh, he can't. We can only bring on 6 people. Oh my God. So it's madness, but thank you very much for listening, people. I think it's time we sort of wrap it up because I mean, what are you gonna do? It's you got everybody, you got all the main players here. I was able to, we got through this with so few technical difficulties.
Oh boy.
Smooth. Joel still can't hear me.
Can you hear me, Ryan?
I can hear you perfect. What's that?
Me?
Yeah.
Because
that's Lonnie.
Come on.
Because I can't come on. You put me on the spot.
All right.
Wait. What about Michelangelo? I mean, we haven't talked about.
Oh man. Yeah, and the manager that if anyone hasn't seen Robby's documentary, The Boy and the Magic Blue Water Bottle, I think that's a must-see tonight after this.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's a good one.
What's everyone going to be doing? I want to go by person. What's everyone going to be doing when we stop this podcast? What's for once, Kenny, what does your evening look like, my friend?
I just woke up a little bit ago, and as usual, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been sitting around for 2 weeks since the business has been closed, so maybe putting some more memorabilia up on the walls at some point today.
Inspiring words. Words. Robby, what will you do after this podcast besides hang your head in shame and say, why didn't I get more airtime and follows? What will you be doing?
I'm probably going to go back to just get back to practicing the Planet Axe set. Make sure I'm note for note. I was really proud of my hard work on that. And probably answer any questions anyone has. So yeah, that's basically it.
Oh damn it.
Yeah.
Fucking Robby walks into the room knowing that he's the funniest guy in the room. He really is. I mean, and we're all kind of funny guys, but Robby takes the cake because it's that damn accent. It's that biting dry wit, right? So Jacob, what's your day look like, Jacob? Let me see if I can put you up there.
Dude, my day after this, I don't know. This is the pinnacle. After this, I'm gonna keep drinking some Montuckies. I'm gonna work on some music. I'm gonna make some demos, and then I got my own live stream that I'm doing at 7 tonight. And then any time between then, just stand outside on the balcony and yell at the coronavirus to get the fuck out. But that's about it.
Fuck, you are the Matthew McConaughey of rock. Matthew McConaughey. I mean, dude, just gonna fucking sit there, have a little brew, and produce a movie. Wow.
All right.
There it is. That's it. Fuck. Amazing response. Inspiring words. Again, Jacob Cade, you showed us all. But the man of the moment, what are you going to do, Mr. Brandon Gibbs, when you stop this podcast? If we know how to
well, yeah, I'll probably just go outside. It's sunny out, hang out, and I invited my mom over. I understand she just learned how to play chess, so I may see if she wants to play a game. But man, just kind of take it easy. And it's been raining here for 4 or 5 days, and now the last at last the sun is out. So I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm going to replay this podcast in my head over and over again. But
for those of you wondering if Brandon really is that nice guy, he's that nice of a guy. There you go. That's exactly what he'll do. If he tells you he's going to go out and mow the lawn, he's going to go mow the lawn. Speaking of yelling at people on his own lawn, there he is. What are you going to do when the podcast ends?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Joel,
Good. I'm gonna go beat my kids. That's what I'm gonna do.
Is that an online confession? Basically,
Joel's also gonna go pet his dragon.
Yeah. Well, that would be Sefton's dragon. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I can't believe you can finally hear me after all this.
Oh, thank you.
The whole time, Joel.
Man.
See,
now that's over.
Now I can hear Jacob Cade now. I can hear everyone but fucking Robbie.
That's so weird.
That's not true.
So weird.
That's not true. I know what you're doing, and it's not true.
I could only hear Kenny for a while. I could only hear Kenny's mic.
Wow.
There for a while.
That's weird.
I used to only hear Kenny's snare drum.
Yeah, kind of brought me back to the old days where all I could hear was Kenny.
Joel, it might be time for a bourbon. I mean,
yeah, it might be.
Kenny, are those your gold records behind you?
Yes, they are. All 3 of them. The one in the middle is 9 million copies. I'm pretty proud of that one. So,
hey, Ryan, I got one from Devil City Angels in which it states that we sold tens of records.
Yeah.
I just got to find it.
It's a stainless steel.
Stainless steel. There's an aluminum one, but that was like the first copy.
What do I know? I'm in New York City, but obviously Joel Cochet is working on something important because he has NS10s in the background. So obviously,
wow, close enough. HS5s.
They're not NS10s.
No, they're the new version of NS10s, I guess. HS5s or 8s or whatever they are.
Wow.
But
now
yeah, I thought I would do this from inside of my studio because I thought I'd have a better chance at succeeding. But apparently it did not pan out.
The thing that succeeds is the kid right there at the bottom box right there of our Brady Bunch box. It's over there of look at that. It's because he understands all the tech and stuff like that. But check it out, John Corabi is watching the show now, and you don't know how many times John Corabi has come up in the van when we're driving from half-filled club to half-filled club. And John Corabi, you have any words? Why don't you come on the show, John? Because you've been on probably another morning show already. You've been on Coffee Talk. How about you? Do you have a personal relationship with John Corabi, Brandon?
It's more emotional.
This whole podcast has been emotional.
This whole podcast is John and I have been friends for many years, done several shows, and he actually jumped in for Jeff LaBar and did Cheap Thrill at the end of the run. And I love John. He's a good guy, great storyteller, and his acoustic shows are very inspiring because he's an entertainment entity all on his own, and that's really tough to do just with the acoustic guitar.
Damn, you should write the bio.
Unless you're me, motherfucker.
Yeah, he should be John's hype man.
Now, did you see that right there? TPF, Troy Patrick Farrell. Where's Joel? I'm only here for Joel. There it is.
Hey, Troy. Congratulations.
Hey, congratulations.
On your wedding.
Yeah, Joe.
Troy and Kat.
There it is.
Awesome. Good people.
Ryan, can I ask you a question?
Please do.
How did Planet X change your life?
Financially or?
That's a whole other thing.
Starting financially. Yeah.
What a game changer, huh? People, we still have some extra Planet X stickers available. If anybody,
Actually, you all were wondering what James McWilliams is doing. He's got a fucking semi load of that shit going right down the interstate, and he's gonna deliver them so we can distribute
one by one,
along with a bunch of mannequin heads and all kinds of weird shit.
You know what happened? I found out why. Okay, why is there not anybody running the ship? And I think it is actually the Rat. I think Dave Rattenbury is running the ship now because Vic Galfont skipped town. He had to actually go to a real job, and not like a real job. Thank you very much, Dave. If you're the one that's running the ship, give me a thumbs up in the room. Thank you for running the whole ship. We should probably just bring them on, but we can't because we got 6 people on right now, and that's the max you can do on this platform. I don't know why we can't put more people on because it would be so much, more cohesive.
Less confusing.
I think it'd be smoother.
Yeah, a lot smoother.
Yeah.
So when are you guys? I always ask this question. When are you guys ready to do the Planet Wellness Tour?
As soon as that endorsement from Mutex comes in, we can green light that.
And Kenny, it's a different name now. All right.
I would have had him on the podcast.
Change the name on us.
I would have invited him on the podcast, but I don't think he has the internet.
Oh, you all got the smartphones? Oh. Yeah, but
it's become an inside joke at this point. Everything's an inside joke. Even what Joel is drinking is an inside joke. What the hell?
Yeah, just let Kenny know I'm looking for him now.
Wait a second. Robby is eager to say something witty. Go ahead.
Well, I've just got the Nalgene water bottle endorsement come through. An email came through just now, and we can get 5.
5,
and we can only get 1 color. I just said blue, but now I feel like I overstepped the mark, and perhaps I shouldn't have.
Yeah, we want the green ones. We want the green ones.
Yeah.
All right. So,
but they never break.
Yeah, of course. Well, for those of you, can someone get the link up there in the comments of Robby's feature film, and someone please start a Joel Cochet fan club wet room for Kitty, because Kitty obviously is taken smitten with the voice of Joel Cochet. I like we couldn't hear him. Just go, you hear me?
If you came to any Planet X shows, this is the best live stream ever. If you never saw a Planet X show, this is the worst live stream ever.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. Jacob Cade has never got so much time on the stage. Well, what? That was Kenny. That wasn't me.
Man.
Kenny was the one giving him the hook every night after 20
minutes.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
No, it's all right.
All right.
Hey, I got.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I just got to say, fuck Carol Baskin.
There it is, Joe Exotic.
If you think she ain't making money off me when I'm in jail, you got your fucking wires crossed. Hey, check this out. Anytime I'm writing a letter to a senator or a governor or something like that, Travis will come over and stick his balls right in my face.
Obviously been working on these different impressions. You can't do Lonnie, but you can do Joel. You can do Joel. What's his name? I keep on forgetting his name. Joel Fabulous, Joel Noxious, Joel
Exotic.
Joe Exotic, yeah.
Wow.
I'm Joel Fabulous.
Yeah, you're Cochet is a synonym.
I'm Joel Fabulous.
Oh my God.
The Tiger King.
There it is. Oh my God.
That stuff hits a little too close to home down here. It's not as fun.
Well, you know what? I got an Oakley hat for Christmas, and I'll never fucking wear it again. You know why? Because that goddamn business partner, you think he didn't take something from me? You got your damn wires crossed.
It's on a loop, isn't it?
Carol Baskin, I will have your head right in this jar here.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say that Robby and Jacob Cade both, because they're under a certain age, don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Am I true? Yeah. Yep. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I have no idea.
And Robby, do you know what he's talking about?
I have zero idea about anything.
There you go. That's what's a generational thing. Kenny can probably recite every single line because he's watched he's got the box set.
I've watched it 3 times already.
Kenny, am I getting close?
Oh, you're spot on as usual.
It sounds hilarious though, whatever you guys are talking about.
And you gotta
move.
You gotta after you say something, you gotta
Yeah.
Yep, gotta get the Prince Albert in there.
You know what, guys? I thought I was going to make this an actual real broadcasted podcast.
Really?
Put it out to like Apple Tunes and Spotify, but I don't want to get banned.
Apple Tunes?
Apple? Did I say Apple Tunes?
I like.
Apple Tunes.
Am I missing a platform here?
That's a good one.
You just berated me
This is a great
for not knowing a certain show, and you don't know what these platforms are that you're
It was a
broadcasting.
compliment. It was because you are the youth. You shall inherit all of this. What's going on now?
I cannot wait.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Blame it all on the research editor for not.
Oh my God. He skipped town. He's out. You know what? I want to bring. Hold on, Jacob. I gotta kick you out for a second, just for 1 second. I'm sorry, bro.
It's okay.
I'm gonna pull a Kenny Bailey on you, and give you a hook. Hold on 1 second. And I want to get the guy that's put this whole thing on another kid. There he is.
Hey, Dave.
Dave Rat. He's called Rat, and he's been doing all the boxes and putting us in and making this look as organized and professional as it has all day. Thank you very much, Dave.
A lot of good comments. It's worth you all going back through all of these comments. I would be filling the screen if I was putting them all up. You should all go back through all of these comments.
Did we really?
I think we're gonna
Definitely Robby.
Dave, will this or will this not get Robby more followers? That's the main question.
Definitely. Whether they're the followers he wants.
I'm not.
You know, all kidding aside, Jacob Cade is blowing up in the comments. He's like, he's going to take all of this and he's going to ditch you guys.
Yeah, because he's made a bunch of accounts and he's out with it.
Oh, so you recognize the trick. You recognize the trick. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
kids do. It's what the kids do. Is he commenting on himself?
I think so.
All right. No, you know what? Jacob Cade is going to do it because that's what he did with the Planet X. And I asked him if it was life changing, and he did say yes. He admitted that the Planet X tour changed his life, as all of us, except for you, Dave. You weren't there.
No, I did Los Angeles instead, which was modest, I guess is the term. But.
Yeah, we did learn that word for. We should have used that for the Planet X tour, but the word "how's the crowd out there?" Modest. That was the word.
Yeah, no, it was. We were in the bus. We were in the bus, and the manager turns around. He's driving. He turns around and goes, "So modest audience last night. Hey guys." And then Roxie, in complete silence, Roxie goes, "So that's what we're calling that now, is it?" And that was it. He's never lived it down.
Planet X, the modest tour.
It's a modest tour. Yeah.
I remember when I did the special guest thing with the Poison guys. They are used to obviously the massive crowds and whatever. And I remember a couple times I'd ask the tour manager. I'd say, "All right, what do we got outside?" And he'd go, "Half a house, half a house." As a guy that's not feeling so confident right now, that isn't what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
But Kenny would look on Devil City Angels. He'd come on the bus, and him and I were like the only beer drinkers in that whole entire bus. He'd come on the bus, and he'd go.
What did we call him?
It's a little thin tonight.
It's a light. It's
A little
light.
light. A little
It's a
light.
little light tonight.
Yeah.
That was the
Listen.
term of the 90s. That is a 90s term because I used to hear that a lot on the Gilby Clarke tour.
Can we
Like
talk?
the second tour. The first tour, boom, 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 boom. Second tour, the tour manager, Mike Hall, would come in and go, yeah, little light.
Little light.
In like a Robert De Niro type of voice too, you know.
Can we talk
Yeah.
about Louisville?
My dad used to say, just look at this as practice tonight, guys. I go, I don't want to look at it like practice. Half a house.
What do we call that's his name? Why did we not put that on a banner? Kenny the Dream Crusher Bailey. Remember that?
Wondered if that was going to get brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Never gonna play here again.
I had, because of the circumstances surrounding our country, I just had to postpone two of the Rock Academy shows, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Those are
But
good
say it
ones
with
too.
a more
Yeah,
positive
they are.
tone, so it at least doesn't sound so depressing. It
Yeah,
just
can you
sounds-
say it in a happier way? Say the same thing again, but just really happy.
Wow.
Two Rock Academy shows. Dave, any parting words? Because I'm going to give you the hook. The stage is
Oh, I'm
yours.
getting the hook. There is actually there's a good comment come up that I want to hear from you guys on. Hey, good to see everyone. But I want you guys to look at this. What do you think?
It's too much math for me. Hold
Kenny?
on. Oh,
Kenny?
Come up with
what did I do?
Fill a
Can
small venue.
Can you chime in here?
Absolutely.
66%.
60.
Oh, I would rather have a small venue packed.
Yeah.
But the 66 is questionable.
Do the small.
I
The
think
small
this is
venue
a
in a
question more for
basement.
Nikki Six.
Pack small venue.
That was a good one. I think this is more of a question for Nikki Six in 3 months. No, do you guys? Why did I say it twice? Joel got me the
Right.
first time.
I
Covered
got
me.
you now.
Damn.
Oh,
Every once in a while, I got a zinger.
Yeah.
Jacob,
That was good.
fuck, man. Well,
Yeah.
I think we got to wrap it up because you know what? You guys have been so kind to hang out with us. This is sort of our therapy session. It was going to be a professionally released podcast, but no, now it's going to forever be on the annals of YouTube and Facebook Live. So you can always check it out here if you have an extra, I don't know, hour, 17 minutes to spend. That's including the VIP sound check that we have.
just throw it up on Apple Tunes. Why don't you?
Hey, do you have,
People
do you
can go to
have the
Apple
video
Tunes.
clip of me throwing my cat out?
Dude, Brandon was wrestling a cat at one point. I thought he was. It was like big cat. No, he was doing his Joel Exotic thing. Is like it was a feline. It wasn't even. It's not even a feral cat. It's like a regular house cat feline, and it was like battling with it. And I'm glad we figured it all out.
Yeah.
Robby just soothes his cat. You always, you feature your cat in your posts, so people know your cat. If they don't know Robby's cat, his cat's got an Instagram account with
I run it personally.
Please follow Robby Miller's cat.
No, don't. It'll get way more followers. No. Don't do that.
He'll get way more followers. He knows. He knows. Do you remember when Robby? Do you remember when? Robby
That's
one
fucking
of the first shows of the second tour. He comes up to me. First time I'd seen him in person in a long time. He comes up and he's like, gives me a hug, and I'm like, "What's up, Robby?" He says no words to me, and then he just like leans back and he looks at me. No words yet. Takes a deep breath and he's like, "So how do you get so much followers on Instagram?"
and then Jacob Cade said, "Well, this is my Visa credit card." And I typed this number in, and then just they populate.
I was like, well, what you do is you have to go on one computer, set up one account, and then you go on another one, set up another.
It's a long
And
game.
then you're on your phone,
game.
and then it works out, and then
At
someone,
Robby Rockmiller.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
Check it out.
at Robby
Jake-
Rockmiller. At,
Jacob, as soon as you're verified, I got the guy for you. All right.
all right, I'm working on it. I can't get it.
No, you
I
will.
can't get it. I will get there. We'll get there.
Dreams happen. You know what? It's that whole thing about imaginary reality. You guys all laugh at me. You all laugh at me. but I'll tell you. I'll show you all. You know that little blue tick? When you get that, you come call me. All right. Look at Scott Weber. You guys just set the bar for podcasts. This is awesome. Thank you, Scott Weber.
The next time you need a rating spike, just give us a call.
Yeah.
We'll come back in again.
I found there it is. Rox is you guys just set the bar for podcast. This is awesome. Scott Weber, this must be your first time on the internet. And welcome to the World Wide Web. This is good entertainment. It really is.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan, Scott was one of the one that bought the VIP at the Dubuque, Mississippi Moon Bar show.
Yes, he was. Yep.
One of the ones.
One of the ones.
I caught that. Yeah.
Is that the one?
I got
you
so
guys
many
used?
sold in shows right now.
Full transparency. I've got no gigs right now. This is our gig. This is our stage, but we always find a place to play, right? And we actually did perform today.
Do y'all remember when you used our RV to do that? One of the VIP ones. That was amazing. We had to go. Get
out of here, guys.
Roxy comes up. He's like, "Yo, can we use the RV for the VIP thing?" We're like, "Yeah, sure." And then like you guys walk away, and then we had to run in there and like clean everything up and put everything in the drawers and whatever. You guys walk in, a drawer is like popping open. We're like, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I hope that went well for you guys.
See, the visual denotes the amount of people that could actually fit in an RV.
Yeah.
So it was more than one. You're saying more than one of one. So
I think it was a bunch of people. I can't remember quite. One thing I do remember though, like it was like yesterday, was Roxy when you lost your tube for your vocal.
Like tube/crack pipe thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You were like, it was like, did anyone see it? It was like
everyone was trying to find it.
Yeah,
walking on eggshells. That
I was looking at my backpack, my guitar case.
I know
the RV,
and it was left inside the Crack House Hotel. Who actually spent the night in that Crack House Hotel? Because I know that I MacGyvered my way to the nice hotel with definitely with Kenny. Me and Kenny got the good rooms that night.
You know, I got out of there. I definitely didn't stay there either. I managed to like worm my way in and out of that place.
I think McWilliams got the.
I think so. I think and Hunter Adams.
Oh, dude, yes, Hunter.
Jacob, I got to get you out for 1 second. Again, I'm sorry for Kenny bailing you. I'm so sorry for Kenny bailing you. But hold on, let's get him out there. And I don't mean to pull a Bailey on you, but dude, there he is.
There he is. Yes.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm in rural Minnesota, and everything kept cutting out on me, man.
Oh, shit.
What's up?
Oh, what's up, James?
Put your glasses on first to start.
Man.
Hey, how many glasses do you have on?
You want to buy up here?
Brando, what's up, dude?
Two pairs of sunglasses.
It's raining whiskey out here, and I ain't whistling Dixie, man.
Oh,
whoa!
I was digging watching you guys, man. Everybody's cracking their ass up. Man.
Oh my god,
James, what do we got for cargo?
What's cargo?
Right now, I'm kind of in between helping the grocery stores out, doing some back and forth supply stuff.
I need some bread.
Yeah,
bread.
I need some Pokemon cards.
Pallets of TP.
Yeah,
that's kind of a short supply.
Or sanitizers.
Yeah. I mean, alcohol and Kleenexes.
Do you have any big cats in the back? You do have. You've got the Joel. You have the Joel exotic mustache. I mean, with your look, Brandon's voice, we got ourselves a doppelganger. I feel.
Yeah.
Hey, James, do me a favor. Just run your mouth, but don't say anything. I'll do it for you. Right. Welcome to Big Cat Rescue. Carol Baskin can go ahead and suck my ass. I will have her head in a jar at the end of this whole goddamn thing.
Right. We got to explain to Jacob and Robby what it actually is, but it is funny.
It sounds hilarious.
Okay. Thanks,
James.
Thanks for sticking us in the crack house.
James, how close are you
Which
to?
one?
How close are you to
Yeah, right?
the Canadian border right now?
I'm closer to Iowa.
Well, come
Okay.
on by.
Get over here.
I'm supposed to be in Des Moines, but I pulled off to watch this thing.
I'll
Oh,
keep the
yeah.
light on for you.
All right.
Just another. You know what? We all make bad decisions. It's fine. But just so you know, hey, it was a Super 8. It was the hotel you went in. It was a Super 8. I think it was Super 8. Was it?
Great.
Yeah,
That
it
was
a
down in
Super 8.
Nashville. What? Right? Was it Nashville?
Man,
I think
way to
that
look
that
over.
place. I think the club that we played got ruined by the hurricane and the tornado.
That's right.
Oh, that's a shooter's place, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it got
Oh,
it got hit by.
Did it get? It didn't get
Yeah.
hit, did it?
Did it?
Are you thinking of Basement East, Ryan?
Well, we did play a Goon Squad show at Basement East, and I know that got
That one
pretty much hit.
I heard that.
You know what? Pretty much every club that we played on the Planet X tour got a hit a little bit. if you really want to, yeah,
we
took a little hit.
we all took a little hit on
Half a house.
little light.
This is horrible promo for the Planet X3.
Oh,
This is not
who
good.
wouldn't want this?
No,
Planet Wellness.
dude. If you are a booker, a potential booker, this is all just fiction and
Hogwash.
Don't get hoodwinked by this guy in the corner.
I think that Louisville was the most successful show out of all.
Yes.
Personally.
Really? You had to bring up Louisville. That was the one thing that we said we wouldn't bring up on the whole
Ever again.
I wasn't there for that meeting. Yeah.
Which one was he talking about?
The one with the Use Your Illusions tour stage. It had the stage from Use Your Illusions tour. You guys remember that?
No,
It was
I
an
remember.
illusion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. All right, James. You've frozen on us, but I love you. You are a Disney character from Frozen, and thank you very much. He will be missed. Jacob K, we're going to bring you back on to say goodbye to everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, please take your screenshots now and post them up on Instagram, Facebook, and whatever social media that you have discovered for the first time from that comment.
For the first time.
Thank you very much, guys, for being a part of it. Thanks for spending time. I'm
Oh,
going
yeah,
to take off and have some dinner with my wife. And we're going to probably end up having a discussion because we really ran far over time.
Good seeing you, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good catching up
Thank
with
you guys so much.
man.
Jacob K, Joel Koshek, Kenny Bailey, Robby Miller, and our special guest, which I will edit and make you sound like $1 million on the first part, Mr. Brandon Gibbs. Thanks you for being a part of it.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to end this, and then you guys just hang out for 1 second because you're going to like the professionality of the way we end this. Folks, we'll see you on another version of In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie. Thanks for being a part of this podcast and more. We will see you next time. And why can't I fucking find it? You know what? Bye.
In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie.
All right, we're still on. I'm lying, but thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Because I was like, I didn't even.
Does this end at any point?
It is ending right now. But thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again, and trust me, next time it'll be even less organized. Bye.
Bye.